What happened? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What's the issue?
No issue, ma'am.
Then please start it.
Yeah, ma'am. You can start, ma'am.
No, I can start, but do you have students? How many students are there?
At present, there are two students, ma'am. One is Khushbu and me.
Pardon? How many students are there?
Actually, I don't know the total number of students, but today in the
No, no.
class,
In this session, how many students are there?
in this session, two students have joined.
Two students. Okay. So, since we have only two students, I would like you to introduce yourself.
Sure, ma'am.
No, no, not you. I mean the students. Are you a student? Manik Dhar.
Yes, ma'am. I am a student. I am pursuing this course.
Okay. So, Manik, but isn't there anyone from RC Chandigarh? No. Okay. So, Manik Dhar and Kushbu. Both of you are students. Okay. Please introduce yourself. So, first of all, I would like to confirm, is there anyone from RC Chandigarh? I have
Yes, ma'am.
just this.
Hello, ma'am. Namaskar, ma'am.
One
My
minute,
name is
1 minute, Manikdar, since you are a student. I had
yes,
mistaken you for someone from RC Chandigarh. I would like to know whether there is anyone from RC Chandigarh and whether we may begin this session. So, since there is no, I have just received the link after I sent a couple of messages to Dr. Manu Pratap. So, since there is no one, I would like to start the session without wasting any more time. And now, at the outset, I would request the two students who have joined to introduce themselves. Now, first, Manik Dhar. Yes, Manik, go ahead and introduce yourself.
sure, ma'am. Namaskar, ma'am. My name is
Yes.
Manik Dhar, and I have been pursuing this course from January 2023 session. So already I have been that means attended. I have attended many that means counseling classes which have been going on. So today is the special session. That's why I'm here.
Okay. And what do you do? Are you a student? You
Mm,
are a student of PGDET. I mean, apart from that, are you
yes,
working?
ma'am. I'm a student of PGDET,
Are
and
you, are you
professionally I'm a teacher, ma'am. I have been working in a school for a long period of time.
okay? So you are a teacher at a school. Which
Yes, ma'am.
classes do you teach?
I actually earlier I taught up to class 12 in the senior secondary level. Right now I have been promoted as a principal in a senior secondary school, but the school is up to class 8 right now. So it will be upgraded up to class 12 later on.
Okay. So you have the experience of teaching as well as the experience of managing a school. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, the next student, Kushbu, you may mute
Good
yourself.
evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Switch on your
Uh,
video.
Ma'am, it will be difficult to switch on the video. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
okay. Okay, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yes, please
Uh,
introduce yourself.
yes, ma'am. My name is Khushbu, and basically I'm from Bihar, but currently I'm living in Mohali, Punjab. So the recent qualification that I have completed is MA in Education from Punjab University, Chandigarh. And currently I'm pursuing this PGDET course from IGNU, and I've also cleared my UGC NET JRF. So I would be joining PhD in education very soon.
Okay. So I wish you all the best for your PhD. And now I think there's
Thank
one
you,
more.
ma'am.
Uh, Rohit. Yes, Rohit, introduce yourself. I
No,
will.
I'm from RC Chandigarh only. Actually.
Okay, you're from
Yeah.
RC Chandigarh, right?
Yeah.
So we have just two students, and let us begin this session. You see, what is the purpose of academic counseling? I would like to deliberate on this issue briefly. That's because you see, you attend academic counseling sessions. When I say you, I mean the students, with the expectation that there would be classrooms, like face-to-face classrooms of colleges and universities. And therefore, what you expect from us is that we would be delivering lectures. But now you tell me, are you right to expect lectures and expectation of a classroom based lectures? What is your idea, Manik? What is your idea, Kushbu? What do you expect from us during academic counseling sessions? Lectures? Yes, Manik? Kushbu?
Actually, no, lecture is okay, ma'am, but if kind of demonstrations are there, demonstration means like a presentation in PPT mode or some other ways, that means, then that
Okay,
can be also
Kushbu?
very interesting.
Right. Kushbu? What's your
Ma'am,
idea?
I think counselings are usually meant to solve the problems that students have.
Exactly,
And
exactly. That is the right answer. Well done. Well, you see that academic counseling sessions are not meant for delivering lectures because we have already delivered lectures. Of course, using the print medium. The print medium, I mean the study material that you have received from IGNO, it has a teacher embedded in it. Therefore, when you expect your academic counselors to deliver lectures, you actually expect the duplication of the effort. No. In distance education, lectures are delivered using a medium, which in this case is the print medium. And what we expect from you is that you would be reading that material and listing the problems that you come across, academic problems in the study material, the hard spots which you could not understand, and come to us in order to understand the hard spots. Beyond that, we are not supposed to be delivering lectures. This is the first thing. And apart from academic problems, there could also be administrative problems. For instance, sometimes you have problems with assignment submission or project report submission, where to submit the project report and things like that. If you have administrative problems, in that case also academic counseling would be helpful for you. But it is not meant for delivering lectures. Well, now have you, the two of you, have you attended induction program? Have you attended the induction program? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
no, ma'am.
No. Okay. Now, have you accepted the invitation to the Google Classroom, which Dr. Ajit and I have formed?
Yes, ma'am. For the online counseling session that was supposed to be from 34, I think from June
No, no,
26th.
no. No. You are getting me wrong. Kushbu and Manik, Dr. Ajit and I, as coordinators of the program, we have developed an online classroom, a Google Classroom, and we have sent invitation to the students. Well, I think you have taken admission in January 23, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, okay. In that case, you shall receive the invitation after September. For the
No,
rest,
ma'am, I have joined it. I mean, I have joined the Google Classroom.
you have joined the Google Classroom. And
Yes,
Manik,
ma'am.
you, Manik, have you joined the Google Classroom?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Why?
One day I tried, but actually I had issue with my email password. So that's
Passport?
why.
But
No,
you,
actually, I
why do you need your passport for joining our classroom? You don't need a passport.
no, no, my email actually is Google password. That's why. So my email Google
Okay,
password, there was the issue.
okay. Now, the second question is that Manik, try to join the classroom. It would be helpful to you because we are
Sure, ma'am.
also providing student support using our classroom extensively. Now, Khushbu, since you have joined the classroom, we had already held an induction program. Did you attend it? It was on, I think, on 16th of July last month. Did you attend
No,
it?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, actually, I think I was not aware of that induction program.
No,
I
we
just,
announced it in the classroom. We had announced it in the classroom that we would be holding an induction program. Okay. So this is not to accuse you of not having joined the classroom and not to accuse you of not having attended the induction program, but this is just to know that whether I should begin from scratch. And since you have not joined the classroom, or you have joined but you have not attended the induction program, therefore I would like to tell you something about this program in details during the academic counseling sessions. What have you been told during the academic counseling sessions, rather taught? Could you list that for me? It would be easy for me.
Ma'am, I was able to join only one day, the academic counseling, and
What will
the
you?
ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay, on that day, Kiran ma'am was giving lecture actually on, I think it was MES 133. So she was teaching about designing courseware and instructional design and all.
That is 134. Okay. So good that I am able to identify the gaps in your understanding, and I shall bridge the gaps during this session. Okay. And Manik, did you attend the counseling sessions organized by RC Chandigarh? Yes, Manik.
Uh, yes, ma'am. I attended a few counseling classes, but due to some problem, that means I missed one or two.
Okay. So during the sessions that you have attended, what were you taught, or rather, what were you told, or only taught?
Yes, ma'am. First, it was taken by Singh sir, Virendra Singh. He taught us about this one MES 31 actually, and 31, and then Kiran Angra ma'am, she took classes there. She taught us about the communication skills in educational technology form.
Okay. Okay. So you have been taught a few topics. Good. Now, I would like to tell you about this program. You must, as a student, even before you learn the content of the program, it is important for you to understand about the structure of the program. Now, first of all, I would like to ask you something about distance education. Have you ever studied through the distance mode prior to joining the PGDET program?
Yes, ma'am, I have completed my MA in English from IGNOU.
Okay.
I completed this year.
Okay. Some you have some idea. And Manik, you?
Yes, ma'am. I did masters in English from IGNO and also postgraduate diploma in higher education.
Right. So both of you have got good experience of distance education. Now, is the screen visible to you? I have shared it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Okay. But since we have an internet issue, therefore it would not be possible for me to go full screen. But I think this is visible to you. Now you see that even more important than the content of the program, I mean the content of the courses, which is definitely important. But apart from that, you need a thorough understanding about the program. For instance, you said that you have already the experience of being a distance learner. Now, could you tell me who was the first distance learner of this world, of not only of India, but the first distance learner in the world? Who was that person? Any idea?
No, ma'am.
Manik?
No, ma'am.
No. You must have heard about Ekalavya of Mahabharat.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how did Ekalavya learn? In a school or outside the school? I mean, within an educational institution or outside it?
Outside the school, ma'am.
Outside, from a distance. So, what did he do? He practiced on his own. He observed the classroom teaching, the classroom instructions rather, or the educational institution based instructions, and he followed that and gained mastery. Therefore, the onus of studying is always on the distance learner. Guru Drona did not teach Ekalavya. Nevertheless, Guru Drona taught Ekalavya. How? That is because the lessons imparted by Guru Drona, Ekalavya observed these lessons and learned on his own, practiced on his own. Why do I cite this example? That is because you people are also distance learners. Therefore, forget about someone coming to the online counseling sessions and delivering a lecture. No, you have to study on your own. But at the same time, IGNOU does a lot of hand holding. We are here to support you. Therefore, start reading. I shall come to it a little later and list the problems, and that's the reason why I repeat. Now, about this program, Postgraduate Diploma in Educational Technology. Well, when you appear for an interview, you might be, whether it is within your institution or outside your institution, you might be asked about this program, that well, you have completed the program, and there could be many questions about the program, and as a successful student you must be in a position to answer. Now, coming to the duration of the program, when did you enroll? Tell me. हाँ भानु प्रताप जी, मैं श्रुतपा बोस बोल रही हूँ. I was waiting for 15 minutes for the link. Finally, I got the link and I have started. But I was again waiting for someone from RC Chandigarh. But after that, without waiting, I started on my own. Someone from RC Chandigarh has joined, and now we are carrying on with the session. Okay? Actually, I am on leave today. Okay. Huh. So, when did you enroll in this program? Tell me.
In the year 2003, in the month of January, ma'am.
Okay. And Kushbu also?
Yes, ma'am.
So now, do you have any idea about the total time that's available to you? How long is your registration valid? Any idea?
For 3 years, ma'am.
3 years. So when does it end? 26 January.
25, ma'am. December 25.
Right.
Yes.
Right. That is a more accurate answer. By December 25, you have to complete every aspect of the program. This should be very clear to you. Now you say that there is a minimum duration and a maximum duration. Sometimes you see all the students are keen to complete their program within the duration of that program, which is 1 year. Both of you, I'm sure, would like to complete the program within 1 year. But due to unforeseen situations, unforeseen circumstances, sometimes we may take a little longer. You never know. In that case, you don't need to panic, since you have already completed programs through the distance mode. You know that you have 3 years time. We sometimes we get emails from students that I couldn't complete my assignment, or एक course रह जाता है. So what should I do? You know the answer. You have time till December 25. But what I would insist on, and what I feel you should do, is that complete the program by December of this year. Eligibility, I'm not getting into that. Medium. What is the medium? The medium is English. Would you prefer to write your answers in English, Khushbu and Manik?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, but there are students who are not very comfortable writing answers in English. For them, even though the instructions are offered only using English medium, I mean the study material is written in English medium, nevertheless, you have the flexibility to write the assignments, the project report, as well as the answers to the term and examination questions in Hindi medium. You are allowed. You don't need to do that if you don't want to, but this is just for your information. As I said, that in case during your interview or someone else asks you about the program, you must have clear idea about the pertinent aspects. Now, coming to instructions, how do we deliver the instructions? Number 1, the study material that you have received. Second, there are many videos. You can search on YouTube for videos on educational technology developed by the School of Education, IGNOU. You will get access to these programs. It is up to you whether you watch or you don't. If you feel that the study material in print medium suffices, well and good. Similarly, we have audio programs as well. Apart from that, these academic counseling sessions, which we are holding now with the help of your regional center, and we also have a dedicated Google Classroom. So that would also be, in case you find you come across hotspots, we can take sessions even using our Google Classroom. And assessment. Any idea about assessment? How is the assessment carried out? Yes, Khushbu and Mohit. What are your ideas? How would we assess?
As far as I know, we have like assignments, written assignments,
What
and
else? What
and
else?
then for this course we have a project, and then we will have end term exams.
Right. So Khushbu has clarified it very well that there would be three modes of assessment. Number one, and all the three are compulsory. Number one, assignments. Number two, the project report would be assessed. And number three, term end examination. Okay. Now coming to the next aspect. What are the objectives of the program? Supposing someone asks you that why did you join in this PGDET program, or for that matter, if your interviewer asks you that how did the PGDET program help you? Well, you would have your own answers. Nevertheless, we had certain objectives in mind while designing and developing the program. I'm not going to read out the objectives. That's because when you read the program guide, you will come across these objectives. But then Manik is already there in in a school, and he intends to teach. He intends to manage. Khushbu is aspiring for a PhD in education, and I'm sure Khushbu would also like to pursue a career in education. And you know that technology is indispensable when it comes to imparting education today in the 21st century. But knowing about technology is not enough. It's important to know about technology, but at the same time, not just knowing but understanding how to integrate technology, not just use but integrate technology in the content that you teach. Maybe I don't know about Manik's subject. For instance, Manik teaches life science, or maybe Manik teaches chemistry or physics, or maybe a language or a social science. How would he use technology in what he teaches? Similarly, when Khushbu teaches, for instance, education, since she is a student of MA education, how would she integrate technology in education? She would learn about that. She would be able to, number one, select technology which is appropriate for teaching a content. Number two, integrate it. Number three, evaluate whether she has made the right choices, A, and B, whether she has done it in the right way. Reflect on it. And you should be able to design and develop courseware which you would like to teach through the distance mode using various media. It could be audio medium, it could be video, it could be a radio program. When I say audio medium, it could be a television program, or it could be a multimedia content. Therefore, when you are faced with a question like this at your interview board, that how did this PGDET program help you? With the help of what you have heard just now from me, and after going through the objectives of the program, you would be able to articulate. So, this is the reason why we have repeated the objectives of the program. There is a typo, off should have been there, and we have also deliberated on it. Now, coming to the next aspect. Well, what is the significance of this program? Why do we need a program on educational technology? Well, as per the new educational national education policy, we are all supposed to be integrating technology. And before that, the education policy of 1986 had also underlined the importance of educational technology and had urged teachers at the tertiary level as well as at the school level to use technology. Apart from these policy frameworks, apart from these policy related reasons, at the international level, the UNESCO, United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, has been urging the teachers should be prepared for using technology. It's not that someone who has not learned the use of technology would not be using it, but nevertheless, one who has learned the use of technology, for instance, through a program like the PGDET, would be better placed to, as I said, select, integrate, evaluate the use of technology in her classrooms when she teaches a particular content, and she would also be able to design courseware. That is why this program is important. It has a national level justification and it also has an international level justification. Even the curriculum framework for teacher education in 2009, the Professional Council for Teacher Education, National Council for Teacher Education, all these body agencies, all these documents emphasize the need for an informed practice of technology integration. Therefore, when you reply to a question pertaining to the importance of PGDET, how it has helped you, you should look at the objectives, the way that I have elaborated the objectives, and you should also root your answers, anchor your answers in these international and national level efforts for making teachers integrate technology. Now, I'm sure you are well prepared to answer this very important question. There are many students who say that they were asked this question कि आपने PGDET किया तो है, क्यों किया, ये किस काम आया आपका या किस काम आएगा. You should be able to answer that satisfactorily. Now coming to the program. इस program के बारे में बात करते हैं. You see that we have an instructional framework. What is a framework? A framework is something on which you place the components, the elements. Instruction means teaching. A planned teaching, goal-directed teaching, these are instructions. And this is how instructions are different from teaching. You may teach your family members how to cook a dish, but you do not set a goal in advance. You do not set objectives in advance. You do not form a strategy for teaching. It may be something informal. You might be providing an informal experience. But when you are imparting instructions, you have certain objectives in mind. You have a purpose which you articulate right at the beginning. And you proceed accordingly as per a strategy that you formulate. And you end up delivering instructions. You just don't teach. So this is another important aspect of this program. It prepares you for imparting instructions with the help of technology. Now you see that we have two components, a practical component and a theoretical component. Now, how many courses are there? Have you browsed the content of the study material? Have you browsed the study material? Khushbu, Manik, have you done that?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I have some confusion regarding this course thing. Because see the screen that you're showing here, this is like we have these four things, but when we download the assignment
Yes.
for this session, the subject names are very different. Like it's educational technology and overview. Then no, this one is. I think there is some confusion. I think because of this MES 01 but somewhere it's written MES 031, somewhere it's written
I'll
MES
come to that.
131.
I'll come to that. That's a very well. Sorry. That's you have raised a pertinent point. Well, you see that when did you enroll? 23. You have said that twice. Now, have you been to the site where assignments are there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 1 minute. I'll also reach that site. Manik, what about you? Have you gone through the study material?
Yes, ma'am. I read a few chapters from these study materials, And regarding this one, MES 031 and 131, this doubt was earlier to me also, but later on that means it was clarified.
Okay. So 1 minute. So you see that when you go to the question papers, right? Well, when you go to the assignments which I have opened just now, because I had it, I was unable to understand that why Kushbu has this doubt.
Ma'am, I think Khushbu, she is confused about the title of
Yes.
this
Now, Kushbu,
courses.
I have just opened this page for assignments, right? Kushbu.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, using red color, we have clearly mentioned that for those enrolled from January 2021 session onwards, this assignment. So, why do you have doubt about 031, 032 like that?
Ma'am, because the
Now, you see,
mail.
here also, MES, when you go to the main assignment page, so it's clearly mentioned revised for those enrolled from January 2021 session onwards. So there is no reason for doubt. You see, this program was actually this program was revised, right? So those who had enrolled prior to January 2021, for them the assignments were for the courses beginning with the code for course code beginning with 0. Okay, let this
Yes,
point
ma'am.
be clear to you, please. For both of you,
Ma'am,
let me clarify.
I would like to highlight that the email which had information regarding this online counseling schedule. In that online schedule, the course codes are mentioned as MES 031, MES 03 like that. We don't have 131. The timetable that has been shared, which we are like now we are going through. So that has mentioned as course
Okay,
codes
so
MES 0.
that has caused a confusion, right?
Yes, ma'am.
No. So this is the reason why you should take the trouble of attending these induction programs. So we dedicate 2 hours continuously. That too on a holiday on Saturday, I remember, and today also, in order to clear these confusions. Well, you see that this program till 2021 used to have courses beginning with 0, 031, 032, 033, 034, and 035. But since you have enrolled in 23, and it is very clearly mentioned that 2021 onwards, you don't have to worry about the 0. Now those courses are obsolete. Those assignments are now obsolete. We have archived it. You understand what is archiving? Archiving means where old obsolete things are dumped. So even if there is someone at your study center or at your regional center telling you about courses beginning with 0, instead of taking that as a fact, you must correct them that no, it should begin with 1, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, also the project manual that is available on the website, that is also like outdated one. Matlab, in that also course codes and the subjects are different. It is according to MES 031, 032 like that.
Let us go to now. You have seen that for assignments, we have issued explicit instructions So there was no reason for confusion, yet you were confused because of that mail. Now let us go to eGyan Coach. Have you been to eGyan Coach, Khushbu and Manik?
Yes, ma'am. I have
Yes, yes,
downloaded
yes.
materials from there.
Okay. So you have been there, right? So let's go to School of Education. And School of Education, here we have diploma and PG level programs. There is one archived and there is one current. And within current, let's go to MES 035 and then program guide PGDET 1 minute. PGDET revised. So just beneath PGDET is the PGDET revised, and here you have MESP 135. You open MESP 135 and there you have the manual for project work. It is very much there. Manual for project work. So if I open it, it's like this, right? So it is there. Beneath PGDET, actually we do not have the permission to remove the old PGDET. That's because in case of re-registration of students who fail to complete that program, they would require information. Therefore, we have to retain both the revised as well as unrevised, even though it is somewhat confusing, at least for some more time. After that, we can archive it. Now you see here that Khushbu and Mani both
Yes,
are
ma'am.
so you will see that it is there. Okay. Now about this, so you do not have any confusion regarding this.
Ma'am, I think it has been updated recently because last
No,
month
no,
when I
no,
downloaded.
no, no. It was in 2021. This was done in 2021. It has not been updated recently. 2021 onwards, both the PGDET programs are there, and it is clearly written PGDET revised. You should have checked both. Well, so now there is no reason for confusion. Okay. So, having said this, let us go to the other. You see, these are the benefits of attending the counseling sessions. These
Yes,
sessions
ma'am.
are more important than lectures. Okay. Now, these courses have been mentioned, the credits have also been mentioned. The codes would be MES 131, 132, 133, 134, and MESP 135. There is also a P. So, when you carry out your project report on the covering sheet, when you mention the course code, don't forget the P. And when you write the assignments for the 4 theory courses, do not include that P. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, this is something which is important, that now you see that one minute. If you have any doubt till this point, you may tell me. Otherwise, we can go ahead.
No, ma'am.
Okay. 1 minute. Well, Ajit had developed this slide, and I have made a slight addition to it. So now things would be even more clear. So these are the course codes, right? Okay. Credit. What is a credit? Any idea about a credit? This is going to be important. I would not have gone into the discussion had it not been for the project component. What is a credit?
Ma'am, I only know this that whenever we complete any course or any degree or any like program, so we receive a credit against that.
Well, that is different. So, money is also credited to your account. Well, credit definitely, actually, the underlying meaning is the same. But when it comes to IGNOU's programs, we define a credit as 30 hours of academic work. What does that mean? Well, you may read the study material, you may write assignments, you may read the content which you access using suggested reading, the list of suggested reading. You may watch a video program related to this program. You may listen to an audio program. You may listen to interactive radio counseling program. You may watch a teleconferencing program related to this, or you may carry out an activity for your project. All of these would be constituted as relevant academic activity. And this program requires 32 credits. Since one credit requires 30 hours of academic inputs from the side of the learner, the student, 32 into 30, 960 hours are required for this program. Have you enrolled in any MOOC so far? MOOC?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. If you enroll in any MOOC, you will see that a MOOC offered through a good platform, a reputed platform, you will find that a student is told beforehand about the time she needs to invest. It could be 40 hours, it could be 30 hours, it could be 2 weeks. In that case, it is further specified that every day you will have to invest, say, 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours. And this idea of credit helps you in two ways. It informs your decision to enroll in a program, whether you have the time for the program. The second thing is that you have an idea about the content load of the program, that how much is expected from your side. Again, you see, when you face an interview and you are grilled about the credits, you would be ready to answer. Otherwise, you would be accused of having completed a program without understanding its basics. Now you see that, as I said, that the instructional framework has two components, the theoretical and the practical. There are 4 theory courses of 6 credits each. Therefore, how many hours are you going to invest for each theory course? कितने घंटे लगाएंगे? कम से कम. That is the minimum. Of course, you are free to invest more if you want to. कितने घंटे चाहिए आपको एक कोर्स कंप्लीट करने के लिए थ्योरी का? How many hours do you need? बोलिए.
180 hours.
Good.
180 hours.
Yes. And but for the project? For the project?
240 hours.
Yes, you need more time. So this is the credit calculation. Therefore, you see that you may be grilled about the credits. That what is a credit? How many credits were there for the entire program? How many credits were there for the theory courses? How many credits were there for the practical component? You should be able to answer all these questions. Okay. Now coming to the next aspect. So this I'm sure you have clarity about the instructional framework and the weight, content load, I mean, for each of the component of the program. Now coming to assignments. This is very important. First of all, why should you write assignments? Well, ideally, assignments in distance mode programs are for continuous assessment, unlike the term and examination. That's because when you write assignments and you get feedback on it, that helps you to understand the basic problems, the basic gaps in your learning, and you can mend those gaps. So this is supposed to be a continuous assessment. Again, if there is a question at the interview, that did you have any continuous, was there any scope for continuous assessment when you studied at IGNOU? Your answer should be yes. How would you justify your a yes? By telling the interviewers about the assignment component. And when they grill you further, that how did it make the assessment continuous? You would say that there is a provision for feedback. The feedback tells us about the shortcomings as well as about our strengths. Whether or not this happens in reality, about that I'm not going to comment. But this is the purpose of an assignment. The second, more practical reason for you to take assignments seriously is that this is an open book examination. Hence, it should work to your advantage. You don't have to learn by rote. You don't have to rack your brain trying to figure out the answer. You have all the time you need. You can leisurely write assignments with your study material and other sources of content open in front of you. This is the reason why I said that if you take the assignments seriously, and since assignments will have 30% of the total weightage, just 70% for the term and examination, 30% if you can manage well, if you get an A grade or at least a B grade, that would work towards your total weightage. For some reason, if you can't perform well during your term and examination, on the basis of your assignments, your grades will get a boost. Therefore, please don't treat assignments in a casual manner. Treat the assignments with full seriousness. Now, assignment questions, where to find? Well, we have just been to that site and you know where to find. Now, coming to, supposing for some reason you have enrolled in 2023, but for some reason you are unable to complete the program this year, or maybe you don't find the time to write assignments for some reason. God forbid if that happens, and if you have to write the assignments next year, please remember one thing. This is extremely important. If you do not write assignments this year, but you write it next year or the year after that, you have time till 25. What would you do? You will go to the site where assignments are uploaded and you will find fresh assignments. So if you are writing the assignments in 2024, you will not write the assignments for 2023, even though you have enrolled in 2023. Similarly, if you are writing the assignments in 2025, you are going to attempt the assignments of neither 2023 nor of 2024. Don't come up with the justification that, ma'am or sir, I had enrolled in 2023, therefore I'm writing the assignments of 2023. No, you will attempt fresh assignments. Where to find fresh assignments? You know, the same site. When is it uploaded? Well, it takes some time. But towards the end of January, you are sure to find fresh assignments. Or maybe for some technical reasons, if it gets delayed by a week or so, you have to wait. You should not attempt the assignments of the previous year. You have no choice. It is compulsory to attempt current assignments. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Even though I have been telling this, I have been announcing this in the classroom, still students keep on asking, should I write the assignments for 23 or 22? Well, the answer till December of this month is 2023, irrespective of the session of your admission. Now coming to the question of how to write. How will you write the assignment? I said that it is an open book examination. Well, does it imply that you would copy from the self-learning material? The study material? No. Are you allowed to copy from the assignments written by your peers? No. Are you allowed to copy from other sources? No. You are not allowed to copy. You should not ideally copy. Copying from the self-learning material would not lead to good grades. Copying from each other, what happens is that the student who is caught, she is punished. Maybe 3 or 4 students are copied. Now some get away and some don't. Those who are caught are punished, are penalized. Don't do that. Read the content properly, and if you happen to copy from other sources, the issue of plagiarism would be there. Right from now, you need to take these issues very seriously. Read the content, read it twice. I'll tell you about it a little later. How to read, how to understand. I'll come to that point. Understand it and then write it in your own language. This is the first aspect about how to write assignment. Be sure to write it in your own language. Don't copy. The second important aspect is that when you write an assignment, get into the habit of writing the answer to term and examination question. You need to structure your answer. How? First of all, there should be an introduction, brief introduction. Some students, if you are allowed 600 words, some students stretch the introduction to a 400 or 500 word long introduction. Don't do that. It should be brief. Introduce what you are going to say, what you have to say. For example, supposing you are asked the differences between the scripts of an audio program and a video program. If this is the question, what would you write for introduction? You may write that a script is essential for an audio program as well as for a video program. That is because the narrative rests on the script. It is the foundation for the narrative that would be provided through maybe a radio program or a television program. The script needs to be sound. And at the same time, since these two media, audio and video media, are different, they have different attributes, therefore, the style of writing scripts would be different. So this is the introduction. Within 3 or 4 sentences, you complete it, and after that, you come to the main answer. You tell the differences. And after that, conclude again within 3 or 4 sentences. Or maybe just 2 sentences. That you could sum up that there are many differences between a script written for an audio program and that for a video program. However, an audio script is written for ears while a video script is written for eyes. The content that you write in between the introduction and this conclusion, would be summed up when you conclude in this way. And this is not easy in an examination hall when you are taking the term and examination, until and unless you have rehearsed it. And the assignment would provide you with the stage for rehearsal. This is another reason for taking assignments seriously. So this is about how to write assignment. Another important aspect is that please, before shooting off your answer, read the question thoroughly. Many students, not a few, but many students do not bother to read the question, nor do they try to understand what the question seeks from them. As soon as they get the question paper during term and examination, or as soon as they download the assignments, they start writing. No. Take some time to read the question, understand what it requires of you. After that, you should write. This would make your answer focused. Otherwise, the examiner would be asking you something and you would be taking a tangential line. Don't do that. Often, while going through, while assessing assignments, there is an oft-repeated comment. Have you read the question? You must read the question thoroughly. You must read the question properly and don't consider it to be a waste of time. No. It is not a waste of time. Read the question at least twice. And more important than that, read the instruction preceding the question. Why? That's because the instruction might tell you that all the questions are compulsory. Second, it might tell you that answer within 600 words or answer within 150 words. So these instructions are equally important. If you are asked to write an answer of 150 words, and if you write 500 words or 600 words, filling up pages after pages with whatever you know, that would cost you your grade. So these are some of the important points about how to write an assignment. Read the question. Before that, read the instruction. Study the material, write it in your own way, structure your assignments. The same holds good for your term and examination. So there are 4 things that I have said. Clear? Is it
Yes,
clear?
ma'am.
Okay. Another important thing is that presentation. Don't take presentation lightly. Howsoever well you might have cooked a dish, the presentation is equally important. It adds value to the dish that you cook. And what can you do about the presentation? I don't ask you to draw flowers and creepers in the margins. Please don't do that as mature learners. Don't try to decorate it. Don't try to use 5 or 6 colored pens, sketch pens. Yes, students do that. But if you are doing that to impress your examiner, no, it's not going to work. What works? Well, something that works is a neat and clean presentation. You are free to word process it. You are free to submit handwritten assignments. Whatever it is, see to it that you use good quality paper. You shouldn't use blotting paper. Moreover, the assignments, while handling the assignments, if you do not use good quality paper, there could be wear and tear. No one is going to read a torn assignment written on a torn page. Leave wide margins. This is very important. Margins are important. Second, don't try to be too miserly regarding the number of pages that you use. Spend some money. After all, the programs offered by IGNU don't cost you much. If you are going to add an extra page or 2 and leave some space between 2 assignments and draw a line between 2 assignment answers, and the same holds good for your term and examination, that would make a better presentation, a neat and clean presentation. So margins are important, good quality paper, and as I said, some space between assignments. And the another most important thing is your handwriting. If it's going to be a handwritten assignment, be sure that it is legible. If I can't make out what you have written, I'm not going to call you here for reading out your assignment. You lose your grade. It's as simple as that. Therefore, your handwriting matters, your presentation matters, your content matters, and how to structure your content, I have already said. Now, coming to the last question. Last 2 questions. How to submit? Well, what you can do is that you can make a file. Don't use a stapler. Why? Stapled pages might come apart. A page or 2 might go missing. Try to make a file. You may go for spiral binding or any ordinary file would do. You don't need a very expensive file. First page should be the covering page. What should you write on the covering page? Your name. Don't forget to mention your enrollment number. Number 1. Number 2, enrollment number should be mentioned correctly. I repeat, if you do not mention your enrollment number correctly, your assignment is gone. It goes waste. You will not get the grades. It would cause a lot of confusion, and you don't want to get into that. Name enrollment number, your contact details, your email ID, your phone number, and your address. Coming to address, do you know what students do? They often write an address or mention an address to which we communicate, but that is not their actual address. There are thousands, not hundreds, but thousands of cases of wrong address. Your grade card won't reach you. Your other communications sent by IGNOU would not reach you if you do not mention the address correctly. Many students say, "ये मेरा पहले का address था, ये मेरे बाद का address है, this and that." No, take these things very seriously. So these are the things you are going to write, and then comes the program code, PGDET, full name, full form, PG Diploma in Educational Technology. Second page, what are you going to write on the second page? Again, your name and enrollment. Why? In case it comes apart, at least you can be traced. And then course MES 131. After that, you start the assignment. When you come to the second course, you write first MES 132, and after that, from the next page, you start the assignment. Therefore, for the assignment of each and every course, you have a covering page. This will ensure the safety of your assignment. It will be easy to trace you and it will be easy for us to connect you and the assignment that you submit. So these are some of the measures that you need to adopt while you submit your assignment. And then where to submit it? You must submit it to the study center. Until and unless during lockdown, for instance, IGNOU had made provision for online submission of assignments, and even now some regional centers are continuing with this practice. But until and unless the regional center website clearly directs you to submit online assignment, submit it to the study center. Again, coming back to the previous question, how to submit. Whether you submit it in person or you submit it by post, remember a few things. These are very important. First of all, proof of submission. One second, I'll take the phone call. Hello? आप मुझे थोड़ी देर बाद फोन करेंगे, 5 बजे के बाद। मैं क्लास ले रही हूँ, ठीक है? तो किसी के भी हाथ में पकड़ा के चले आए, someone whom you meet and she says or he says that, okay, you give it to me, I'll keep it safe. No, don't do that. You must collect a proof of submission before you leave the study center. And if you are submitting it through speed post, you must retain the proof. After a few days, the ink would fade. Take a photograph. Take a photo and retain it. Right? Proof of submission is very important. And I have also answered where to submit. Now coming to any questions so far regarding assignments?
Yes, ma'am. Just you have said proof of submitting the assignment. Is there any standard format for acknowledgement of the assignments? That means when we submit it to the study centers or regional center.
Ideally, yes. Practically, no. But at least you can also prepare a format and take it to them. But you have to insist. If someone says at the study center that no, then you have every right to tell them that it is your right to get an acknowledgement. It is your right
Yes,
to get an acknowledgement.
Who is the right official?
Pardon?
Yes, ma'am. Who is the right official? That means who can give that acknowledgement?
At study center, you see there would be a study center coordinator, and there could be those who are assisting that person. You should inquire about it, and only then you should hand it over, but get a proof of submission. When you go to a study center, it is therefore what many students do is that they send it through courier or maybe speed post. So
More
you
thing,
can,
ma'am, I would like to ask you.
huh,
Sorry for the interruption, ma'am. I
huh,
want to ask you one more thing.
huh.
Actually, suppose I submitted my assignment in the study center, and they have provided me one proof. But due to some that means reason, that means the study center misplaced the assignments or they lost the assignments.
Hmm.
After that, how the assignments can be assessed then?
Well,
That
this is a good question. Good question. This is something I forgot to tell you. That it's indeed a good question. That when you submit the assignment, or for that matter, your project report, or anything that you submit to IGNOU, you must retain a photocopy. That is because transmission losses are rare in IGNOU. This doesn't happen too frequently, even though this is notwithstanding the huge enrollment we have. Nevertheless, to be on the safe side, please retain a photocopy. Right? Okay.
yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Uh,
Thank you.
So this is about assignment. Now coming to the next component, it is about project. Have you gone through the project manual? Have you
Yes,
gone through
ma'am.
that? Okay. And Kushbu, you?
Yes, ma'am, but I had gone through the wrong one.
Never mind. The format is the same. The format is the same. Okay. Now you see that I'll also open it so that it will be easy for me. One second. Give me just one moment. And Kushbu, what you're going to do today is that you are going to download the right one,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Right manual. And remember, one. This is the number that you are supposed to be using. 131 to 135.
Yes, ma'am.
One second.
May I ask one question, ma'am?
Sure. Go ahead.
Just you have said about the word limitation of the assignments.
Huh.
So regarding the word limitation, suppose one assignment, the word limitation is given 600 words.
Okay.
So if that means my assignment it becomes 1,000 words, is it going to be an issue, ma'am?
600 and 1000, there's a lot of difference. If it would have been 600 and 700, it would not have been an issue. But you see, this is an important rehearsal for your real life also. That is because many of us don't know how to answer in a to the point way, succinctly. हम लोग बोलते ही जाते हैं. So if it is 600, I don't intend to say that you should start counting the words, but at least 600 to 700, 750, or maybe 550. But it shouldn't be 1000. 1000 is very close to, it's closer to the double the number of words that you are allowed. So it could be an issue.
Suppose, ma'am, one A4 size paper may contain 250 words. So maybe the one,
Some people say 300.
yeah. So maybe the assignment, one assignment need to be completed within 3 or 4 pages, ma'am.
Right. 3 or 4 pages would again make it 900. Right. So,
3 pages.
you see, for assignments, it's not going to matter that much until and unless you fill up 7 to 8 pages. But for term and examination, it would matter. Moreover, it would cost you your time. So, that's also important. Okay. So, 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh. Just a minute. Meanwhile, if you have some more question, you can ask me. If you have doubt about anything else.
You have just said about the feedback of the assignments.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
Actually, suppose when we submit the assignments to the study centers or the regional centers, that means these assignments are taken, but when that means the feedback we want, that means we never get any feedback. Even we don't know what happened to the assignments.
Now, what did
So
I
how?
say? What did I say? If you recall, ideally and practically. This is the reason why I had used ideally and practically. Right? So, ideally, you should be getting a feedback, and that is the reason why this is something that I said. Number one, number two, I had said that when you are asked during an interview, at least you can say that yes, we did have continuous assessment. If they are grilling you on that, you can say that assignments. Ideally, there should be a feedback telling you about your strengths and weaknesses, but practically what happens, I'm not going to discuss that. Okay. Now, yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, Boli.
Like this discussion is going on about this feedback. For example, I submitted submitted an assignment, and I got very less marks in that. So can I like ask the matlab, study center the reason or matlab, something like that if it is possible?
You see, whenever a student is failed, then it is important that they should be telling you the reasons for that. But as I said, there is a gap between what is ideal and what is practical. Khushbu, you also know that. You are also into the field of education, and you know that very well. So, ideally, yes, but then don't take such chances. If you write it properly and if you present it well, there is no reason why you should be getting poor grades. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. So, don't worry about getting poor grades, just do your job properly. Now, well, I'll share this. Tanmay Niyogi,
Yes, madam.
who are you? Are you a student or are you from?
Actually, I am current student.
You are a
Current student, madam. Current student.
current student, right? So
Yes.
you have joined quite late, I believe.
January 2000. Yes, madam.
No, I mean this today's induction program. Is I
Actually,
thought,
I didn't know it, madam.
okay, okay.
I
Never mind, never
I
mind.
thought it will be start from 5 p.m. That's why I joined now,
No,
and now I.
actually, the timing is 3 to 5. That is because it gets dark and there's no one. We need permission and all that. So it's not a study center. It is IGNO's headquarter. So
Okay,
office
madam.
hours wouldn't have permitted that. That is the reason
Extremely
why.
sorry, madam. Extremely sorry.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Join the IGNO. Join our Google Classroom, right?
Uh,
And that would help you with the portions that you have missed out. Okay.
okay,
Now
okay,
coming
madam.
to now coming to how is the project going to help you? Again, going back to the question of please mute yourself. Please mute
Okay,
yourself.
madam.
Right. So again, that what about the practical component? This is going to be a very likely question. That did you have any hands-on experience? What did you do to learn the use of technology? Your answer should be yes through the project component. So these are the answers that how was the project useful to you or what was your practical experience? How would the project work be useful for me? So this question we have deliberately included in order to convince you about the need for the project, number one. Number two, you would also be able to communicate it if someone asks you about the practical component. Now coming to the next important question, that how do I select activities? Well, we have a bouquet of activities. There are many activities. You are free to choose activities. But remember, there are two things I would tell you now which are extremely important. Number one, how many theory courses are there?
Ma'am, can I
Four.
interrupt? I have some questions.
Complete the project. Let me complete after that.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, madam. Okay, madam.
There are 4 theory courses. Now, supposing you have carried out the activities pertaining to 2 or maybe 3 courses. Will that do? No. You have to cover activities from each and every one of the 4 courses. We have received project manuals with students not bothering to carry out activities from all the 4 theory courses. There's no way we can pass them. There's no way we can assign even a passing grade to them. Therefore, you need to ensure this. Now, coming to the next question, how many activities? You see, you have to carry out total 8 credit worth of activities. 2 credits from each course. For each course, there are many activities. Some of half, some of 1, some of 1.5, some of 2 credits. If you are doing a 2 credit activity, 1 activity is enough. If you are doing half credit, then 4 activities are needed because 4 into half 2. If you are carrying out a half and 1, then you have to carry out activities, 2 activities of half credit and 2 activities of 1 credit. Right? In all, your activities must add up to 2 credits. Okay. Okay. Sorry, it's not 2, it is 1 credit. Sorry. So if it is 1 credit, and if you carry out an activity of 2 credits, if it is there is no problem. If you exceed the credit limit, there is no problem. But see to it that it should not be less than 1. If you are carrying out an activity of half a credit and you tell me, ma'am, I have covered that course. No, that's not going to work. It should be of at least 1 credit, and in that case, 2 activities would be required. Okay. What about the activities with half or 1.5 credit? In that case, if it is 1.5 credit, it's okay. But if it is half, then you need 2 activities. So it is not the number of activities that would matter. Don't tell me that I have carried out 1 activity from each course. If it is of just half a credit, it's not going to be sufficient. And as few as 4 activities, 1 from each course, provided the credits when added equals to, you see, why I have shown this? That is because it is going to be 8. It is going to be 8 for the new MESP 135. Okay. This is for the old manual. I said that the format and the structure are the same. Actually, I do not have that new manual with me. So, in the new manual, you will find that it must add up to 8. Since the format and the structure are the same, therefore, I am showing you this. Don't follow this. So, it is going to be 8 credit worth of activities. Now, if you have any question, Mohit, Manik had a question. I'll take that, and after that, I shall proceed.
Ma'am, Tanmay Neogi, that means he has a question.
Yes, ma'am, I have a question. Actually, my question is about project oriented. How can I get my project and who will guide me in that project? And how can I get the topic from where? Actually, my study center is RC Kolkata, Vikas Bhavan. So I am conducting the class. I am attending the class by online mode. So how can I get my project? And from where I get the guidance and project topic? This is my question.
You are
Ma'am,
mute,
your
ma'am.
mic is mute.
Yes, ma'am. Your mic is mute. Please.
What I said is that I could not hear you. I could not understand your question. Could you please repeat it?
Ma'am, my question is from where I get my project. So the paper MES 135, the project paper, from where I get my project topic and who will guide me. That is my question.
1 minute. Actually, you missed the first part, and therefore I had shown from where to get that project. It is available at eGyan Kosh, but there are 2 PGDETs. On the top, you will find a PGDET, and below that, revised. Since you have joined in 2023, therefore,
Yes, ma'am.
you need to click on the link for the revised PGDET. We have retained the earlier one also because there could be some students of re-registration for the old program. We are not allowed to remove it.
Ma'am,
Okay.
actually, I want the project topic. I can get the e-content and I will
Listen,
get the
Tanmay, you are not willing to listen.
okay,
I
ma'am.
have just told you that you need to go to eGyan Kosh.
E-Gyan Kosh.
Yes, note it
Okay.
down. You need to go to eGyan Kosh. When you go to e-Gyan Kosh, there you will find the project. Right?
Okay, madam.
Okay. 1 minute.
May I ask you something? May I ask you a question?
1 second. 1 second. One second. Is this visible to you? The project
Yes.
manual?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. 1 minute. Actually, we have some issues with the internet today. It is flickering, but nevertheless, Tanmay, what I have said is that you need to go to e-Gyan Kosh, right? When you
Okay,
go to,
madam.
when you go to e-Gyan Kosh, there you will find that there is PGDET revised. Please click on the link for PGDET revised, and you will get access to all the course materials.
Yes, madam.
Huh.
Yes, madam. Okay, madam. Okay, madam. Okay, madam.
So, Manik, you had a question. What is it?
Yes, ma'am. My question. Actually, I went through the project manual, and there it already mentioned that we don't have to submit any kind of project proposal for the project work. But,
Yes.
ma'am,
Yes.
do we need to take the help of any project guide?
No. I was just coming to that. I was just coming to that. That you don't need either a guide nor do you need to submit a synopsis. If someone at your study center or regional center, you need to mute yourself. I think I don't know who is that. So you need to carry out the activities on your own. You do not need a guide, unlike in other projects, looking for a guide and then convincing her to be your guide. These things you don't need. There is absolutely no need for that. Okay. So this is something
Yes, ma'am.
about.
Thank you.
Huh. So you don't need a guide. Remember it. Even if you are told that you need a guide, forget about it. You don't need to prepare a synopsis. Just straight away read the manual, and after that you must carry out the activities and submit it. Now, first of all, I'll okay. Now coming to the project, I'll share the screen. So this is clear that you do not need a guide and you do not need to write synopsis.
Yes, ma'am. It is
Section of
clear. Thank you.
activities, I'll come to it a little later. I don't have that new manual. I've just showed you the old one, but I'll come to it. What are the resources you need? You will find the resources within that activity itself. I'll show it to you. How to write the reports? I'm coming to that. Now, how to submit? Again, the same procedure. Prepare a file. Prepare a project file, include a covering page. Within that covering page, you must include all the details that I have asked you to include for assignment. What are these? Name, enrollment number, contact details, and then the program code, PGDET, and after that, the MESP 135, that also you need to mention. And along with this file, you must also submit a covering letter in which you will request that your regional center should hold the Viva at the earliest. Now, what is the Viva? Do you need to be scared of the Viva? No, not at all. It is just to check impersonation. Supposing X is the student who has carried out, who is supposed to be carrying out the project, but she outsources it to her friend. How do we make it out? Through the Viva. Because we would come to know whether she has carried out the project on her own or she got it done using taking someone else's help. So this is about how to submit the project. And the next very important question, where to submit. Remember, assignments are to be submitted at the study center, but project report at the regional center. Please don't get confused. Please don't get confused. Okay. So this is also very important. Where are you going to submit
May
your project report? Regional
may I
center.
ask you,
Sure. Go ahead.
ma'am,
Hmm.
actually regarding study center and regional center, I have not been allotted any study center, but the regional center is given as the study center.
Okay, okay,
So
that's fine. Then it is convenient for you. It's
yeah,
good for you. So in that case, in your case, it is very convenient.
yes, ma'am. So I have to submit everything to that regional center only.
Regional center, whether it is your assignments or whether it is your project report, everything. You don't need to worry at all. But for others, for whom there is a separation. For them, study center is for assignment. Academic counseling is also an assignment, which is of course now online. And project report should be submitted to the regional center. And before submitting the project report, see to it that you have a cover page with all the details that I have mentioned and a covering letter as well, which requests an early viva. And for the viva, what should you do? You should just go through the project activities that you have carried out, right? So this is about the project report. Now coming to the viva, that's also over. Now coming to another slide, and after that I shall come back to the project. One more.
Ma'am, may I ask you another question, ma'am, if you
Yes,
permit?
one more thing which is very important. Just keep on hold. Otherwise, I'll forget. That is about grades. Okay, you don't have marks, but you have grades. So we have a 5-point scale: A, B, C, D, and E. A is for excellent, B is for very good, C for good or satisfactory. Now D is a dicey position. If you ask me, will a D grade fail me or pass me? I would say I don't know. Why? Supposing a student has got D grade in assignment, but has got an A grade in the terminal examination. Now I have to calculate the average, right? So the average would be the A grade would pull up the D grade, and the average would be somewhere close to C, a little above C. The student would pass. Now she gets a D grade in her assignment and an E grade in the term and examination. What's going to happen? The term and examination grade would pull it down further and the student would fail. Therefore, D is a dicey position. You can't say whether you are going to pass or you're going to fail if you have obtained a D grade. E grade is sure shot fail. Now, what is the minimum passing grade? Whether it is assignment or term and examination or project report or viva, all these 4 components which would be assessed, you need to get at least a C. Take all these components very seriously. While coming for the viva, please read the project report that you have submitted. It often happens that they don't know what they have done and we end up doubting their integrity. So this is about the grades, right? 70% for term and exam, 30% for assignments. Similarly, 30% for project report, 30% for viva. But grades of all both the components, the project report and viva, assignment and term and examinations would be important. The average grade would be calculated. So getting an A grade in one component and failing in the other means fail. Getting an A grade and getting a D grade means your grade being pulled down, right? So this is something about the grades. And now 2 more things, and after that you will ask me questions that you want to ask. Well, 1 minute. Now coming to the project manual which you will download. Yes, do I need, the first question is, do I need a guide or a supervisor? The answer begins with a no. Will the project work be evaluated? Yes. Take it seriously. Third, you see, we have started the project manual with a set of FAQs. And how to write the report? Again, the same method. Introduction, after that the method and analysis and interpretation of the data that you collect, conclusion, reference, and an annex, which would include the interview schedule or the questionnaire. If you take content from various sources, be sure to acknowledge it. Well, activities. Now coming, I'll just go through one activity. This is MES 131, the first course, and the first activity. 1 minute. Well, 1 credit, minimum of 1 credit was for the old manual, which I had shown you because I didn't have access then. But it is 2 credit worth of activities for each course. This is answered in point number 3. Now that this is opened, I am able to tell you with clarity. Okay. And coming to one activity, just one activity will suffice. Where should you submit the project report and things like that? Everything is given. So you see, this is an activity about using technology for action research. How many credits? 1. How many credits do you need for 131? 2. So if you are going to carry out these activities, look for other activities, 2 other activities of half credit or 1 more activity of 1 credit. So what is your role? Clearly mention. Identify a problem that requires research and things like that. Second, what should be your output? I mean, what should be your report? It should be within 500 words. What should it contain? That also we have mentioned. What should be the criteria for evaluation? That also we have mentioned. Next activity of half credit. Now, if you have any doubt about project report, you may ask me. Just 2 more things. Yes, if you have any grievance and you are going to write to us, if you have any problem, there should be 3 things: your name, your enrollment number, your regional center at the beginning. After that, your problem. Don't straight away start writing your problem, because we have to trace out who you are. Your name, your enrollment number, yes, of course, your program, your regional center, and then your problem, very briefly. So 5 things should be there whenever you communicate with IGNOU. Remember that. Whether it's an incomplete grade card or something going missing, 5 things: name, enrollment number, program code, regional center, and the problem. This is about grievance and how to start reading your study material. SQ3R technique. Survey means browse, go through the content. After that, question yourself: what am I going to read? Who is going to answer? The unit. Go through the objectives, go through the structure of the unit. On the first page, you will find what you're going to read. And 3R, read, review. Review means ask yourself, what does this mean? And reflect. That again, ask yourself, have I understood? Should I read again? Is it clear to me? Can I relate it with my experience at my organization? Things like that. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. So this is the way, and don't procrastinate. कि अभी तो टाइम है, बाद में पढ़ लेंगे. No, you don't have time. You need to start
Yes.
reading from today.
Okay, ma'am. May I ask a question to you, ma'am?
हाँ, sure. पूछिए.
Okay, ma'am. So in the project work, actually, if we take the help of any kind of books or journals related to
Yes.
the topic content, so do we need to, that means, cite it? Do we need to, that
Yes,
means, go
yes.
for reference section?
Of course, you must. Otherwise, you see, there could be a case of plagiarism, and you don't want to get into that.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. And
So, we have mentioned it very clearly. This is in page 8. Page 8. Now that it is opening, this file is opening, so I can present to you with clarity. There is a point on page 8 after conclusion: reference. In case you refer to books, journals, and other documents or sources of information, you should cite these within the text and also towards the end, and you must create a reference section, just like we have done in your study material. Within the text, for example, you write something, and after that you write Khushbu 2022. Then when you create a reference section, Khushbu 2023 must be there. Okay?
okay, ma'am.
Anything else? And
Ma-
बोलिए.
Ma'am, in any circumstances, if I miss the Viva, so can it be rescheduled or can I reappear in the Viva? What is the process?
You can, but try not to. That's because you see, there could be administrative issues. Khushbu, जो भी काम हो, keep it pending. try to attend to IGNOU's.
But ma'am, I'm just saying, if in the worst scenario, if something happens.
Theoretically, yes, and don't worry, you can. But then nowadays, Viva is being held in an online mode. Therefore, even if you are not at home, you will have the, and moreover, you are informed in advance. If you have any problem, you can write to them that, well, on this date, I have this important activity. And if you can furnish an evidence, that would work to in your favor. You
Okay,
would be
thank you, ma'am.
informed in advance.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the project manual which you will find at eGyanKosh. Please start by reading the answers to the FAQs, and the minimum number of credits for each course is 2. It was 1 for the earlier one. Now that the file has opened, I am referring to this one. Okay. So anything else that you would like to know?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Yes.
In the project manual, there below that means activities, there is one point, criteria for evaluation.
Yes.
Criteria for evaluation, data collected and its presentation, data analysis, findings and inferences. So how this thing is done, ma'am? I would like to know that.
No,
How it is going to
criteria
be
for
done.
evaluation, you don't have to evaluate. We are going to evaluate. Or maybe the regional center would engage people to evaluate it. But then you must know that what is, for instance, Khushbu had asked that if someone gets a poor grade, then she should know that why such a poor grade has been awarded to her. So therefore, in order to make you aware of the evaluation procedure, that what would be the criteria for evaluating your project report, we have included this. Okay. So what are the things that are going to be important while you write the project report? It could be the data analysis. Supposing you are using an interview schedule and you hold an interview and you have data from say 30 people. How have you analyzed the data? Please read the project manual thoroughly. It is going to be really helpful to you. And apart from that, you see in the project manual, what we have included is that there are the activities and the evaluation criteria and many more things that are pertinent. Okay, for instance, sampling. You may not know how to carry out sampling. We have told you how to carry out sampling. It is there on page 39. What are the tools for data collection? How do I prepare a questionnaire? Ma'am, I have never prepared a questionnaire. I haven't yet done my PhD. So how do I do it? Well, the answer is there. We have given example. How do I carry out an observation? How do I carry out an interview? What do you mean by method of study? How to analyze data? We have provided you with the answers to all these things in the project manual, page 39 onwards. Right? Anything else?
Ma'am, because now we have not gone through the project manual, so after we go through the project manual, I think we'll have so many more queries. So can we write to you on email, like us
You
to?
may write to me, and what I am planning right now is that if I get requests from many of you, then maybe we would hold a session using our Google Classroom only for the project. Only for the project.
Ma'am, it will be very helpful, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
Very nice, ma'am.
no, we had invited say about 70 people to our previous induction program on the 16th. Ajit and I, we devoted one holiday for that. And how many of you turned up? You didn't bother to turn up. You enjoyed your holiday while we wasted hours. And this is quite demotivating, discouraging. But nevertheless, we shall organize it again. And why did we hold it on a holiday? So that more students could participate. But now we are going to do it on a working day between 3 to 5. I'll talk to Ajit, fix a date and announce it in the Google Classroom. If you have not yet joined Google Classroom, please join it. Okay?
Today I have joined in the Google Classroom, ma'am.
Good. That's good. And Tanmay, have you joined it?
No, ma'am, I haven't joined it. How can I join, ma'am?
We have sent an invitation to you. Just accept it.
Okay, ma'am. It will be in.
Pardon?
Is it will be in my email?
Yes,
Okay,
long
ma'am.
back.
Okay,
Until
ma'am.
you have deleted it.
No,
In
ma'am.
case
I
you
haven't deleted, ma'am.
okay. No, in case it has gone missing, you can write to me or to Ajit that you need to be invited. We shall send you an email again.
Ma'am, how can I contact you?
Email.
Ma'am,
It's
I
there in the
don't.
program guide. Go to IGNO's eGyan course. You find the program guide.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so with that, we come to the end of this program
Okay,
and
ma'am.
look forward to meeting you again. Okay.
Ma'am, may I ask one thing apart
Sure.
from this PGDET? Ma'am, regarding this one project work, I have submitted one project for this one postgraduate diploma in higher education,
Hmm.
and then it has been already evaluated, and B grade is added in the grade card.
Hmm.
But after how many days, ma'am, I shall get
I don't
my.
know. I don't know. You see, I shouldn't be answering questions for other programs. You may write to the program coordinator. It would be unfair of me. Okay?
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Okay, then I'll log out now and we shall shortly hold a session.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Okay.
so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much.
Okay. Oh my God.